Hi there, in this screencast I'm going to show you how to set up the spreadsheet that you're going to need for your compound interest project. So I've already made a blank spreadsheet for you with your name on it and the name of the project. So you're just going to open that up. You're not going to create a new one yourself, you're just going to open that. And that file, to find that, you're going to go to Shared Drives. Then you should just have one or two shared drives. You're going to know the one that is financial algebra with your name on it, and I'll do one right here, and then I'm going to click on the file name that has your name. In this case it's Juan Esposito's, and then after that it's called Future Value of Account with Regular Deposits, and then I'm going to open with Google Sheets. Alright, so this will open with Google Sheets, and any changes that you make to it will be saved to the Excel file. So you don't have to worry about converting it or making yourself a copy of it or anything like that. You simply open the spreadsheet, make changes to it, and then save it and close it. Okay, so when I open it, here is a blank sheet, and I'm going to open another one, not Juan's, for the sake of this screencast. So let me go find the other one that I made. And I thought I made it, and I never, well, maybe I never uploaded it to Google Drive. Let's find it. Okay, so there it is. So the first thing I'm going to do is rename the first sheet, and I'm going to rename it to be, call it No Deposits. So this is going to be the sheet for just a one-time deposit and then having interest accrue over a period of years. And I'm going to make another sheet that's called regular deposit. So this is going to be the sheet for the account where you're making regular deposits. So then I'm going to start setting up my columns and and cells. So I'm going to let's see. First, A1 is going to be month number. B1 is going to be opening balance, and that's going to be basically the principal. Okay, and then we're going to have interest earned. And finally, closing balance, which is going to be the principal for the next month. Okay, so let me angle these upward, because that'll make it take up less space. And after I do that, I can make the month column much shorter. And now I want. I'm going to put, our spreadsheet is going to show the balance, the month-to-month balance. So that means I need the numbers 1 through whatever in the month number column. So I'm going to put a 1, and then I'm going to use a trick with formulas to quickly get all the integers 1 through, and I'll do 120 for up to 10 years. For using the formula for up to a 10-year loan or 10-year deposit. So I'm going to go to A3, and I'm going to say that is equal to A1 plus 1. And then I'm going to copy that formula all the way down through row 121. Because that would be a full 10 years. Okay, so now I have the month number, And then now let me go over here and I'm going to set up a little area where I'm going to actually use the formula to compute the values. So in F1, I'm going to put in F1, I'm going to put principal, and then I'm going to put annual percentage rate, then actual percent yield, and computed balance at the end of the term. So basically the user is going to fill in the percentage, the annual percentage rate. I forgot one column, so let me do one row. So let me copy this one, move it down, and right in there I'm going to put the number of years. So what's going to happen is your user is going to fill in the value for principal, annual percentage rate, and number of years, and then by the magic of formulas, everything else should be populated automatically, including kind of this chart that shows the month-to-month balance. All right, so let me make this a little bit prettier. So I'm going to highlight what's in the left-hand side, and I'm going to add lines, border lines, and then let me do a fill color. I'll do a nice yellow color. Then let me gray this, do a fill color for this column. And same with these columns over here. And underneath here. And then let me do borders there. And borders here. Oh, and this is computed at the end of term. Okay, so I'm going to make a few of these cells be bright. Well, let's do, let's see, can I get a bright pink? Yes, that's really bright. Maybe a little bit too bright. Let's try a bright green. Yeah, that's better. And do a bright green for that one as well. Nope. I want that one to be bright green. And this one, oops. Oh, I misspelled computed. Computed. There we go, that's better. And this one, I'm going to make have a nice yellow background, the same as the left side. No border an option? No, I guess you always see the border no matter what. Okay, so now I'm going to copy and paste this entire page. So I highlight the entire page by clicking in the upper left-hand corner right in this cell between A and 1. And I'm going to deposit it onto the regular investment side or worksheet. may take it a while to do this. Okay, and then I'm just going to make a few changes, and the changes are going to be, let's see, well, I think those are, nope, I don't need to make any changes at all. Okay, yeah, let's, oh, there's one little change I am going to make. I'm going to call this monthly deposit. Oh yeah, let me go back to the other page, the no deposit one, and change that one. And then that is balance B. And then I'll make that one be principal P for the formula, and then this is R. Put the formula there, and then this is T in my formula. So everything else is going to be computed. And then for the regular deposits, okay, so now I have my spreadsheet all set up and ready to go. Hi there, in this screencast I'm going to complete the little chart here on the right sides of the graph. So I'm going to do it in both cases, for the no deposits and the regular deposits. So I'm just going to give, for now, initial values for P. Alright, and that's going to be 10,000, and I'm just going to pick a rate. I'm just going to randomly pick 0.02. So what's in green are the cells that the user will fill in to complete, for the table to complete completed. So that means I need to put in formulas for actual percent yield and computed balance at the end of the term. So actual percent yield is also referred to as the APY. You'll see when banks advertise a percentage rate. And that's simply 1 plus the interest rate divided by 12 to the 12th power. So it's essentially the interest rate that you'd be getting if your monthly compound monthly interest rate was just compounded once for the entire year. So it looks like this right there. So it's 1 plus r over 12 to the 12th. So let me go back to my spreadsheet, and I'm going to use a formula. So using a formula in Excel, I always have to put equals. And then it's going to be 1, open parenthesis, 1 plus, and I'm going to click on G2, which is my rate, and I'm going to do divided by 12, and then I'm going to do the hat symbol, which is a shift 6, and then an open parenthesis. Well, actually, no, I don't need to do an open parenthesis. I can just type 12. Let's see. All right. Oh, and then I need to do minus 1. Okay, so that gives my actual percent yield. And then now, let me pick just 10 for the number of years arbitrarily. I'm going to pick 10. And then now I need to use the formula to do the completed balance. So that is going to be, let me look back to what my formula actually is. And it's this one right here. except instead of t, it would be t. So I'm going to, let's see, what's my p? My p is G1, and then I'm going to do asterisk, and then an open parenthesis, 1 plus whatever my r is, which is G2, divided by 12, close parenthesis, exponent symbol, open parenthesis, and now it's going to be, no, it's not G2 divided by 12, it's G2, yeah, it is G2 divided by 12, because I'm assuming that my interest is compounded monthly. So, and that's to the nt, so n is 12, and t is going to be G4. So I'm going to click on G4. And then I'm going to do a close parenthesis, and I'm going to hit enter. Alright, so there I would have 12,211 months at the end of my term. Oh yeah, let me do one other thing. Let me put that, that, and that. Let me put that in a format of dollar currency. So let's see, where can I find it? Format menu, number, and it would be currency. And, okay, and then let me do all of these in currency as well, because they are going to be in currency. Okay, and then let me do copy those formats to my regular deposits page, since I just made changes to it. And I'm going to do paste special after highlighting everything, paste formats only. Right, as soon as that's done. Okay, so now let me go over to the regular deposits, and my initial value, I'm just going to pick a value, and that would be, let's do 1,000, 10,000 again, and then I'm going to pick this is going to be, they deposit $1,000 each month. And annual percentage rate, I'm just going to put 0.02 once again, and then the number of years, I'll just put 10. Okay, and now let me look and see, put in what the formula is for the compound interest with regular deposits. Okay, so it's this kind of monstrosity right here. So I'm going to have to do this very carefully. That's better. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in on this so you can look at the formula, since it was kind of tricky to enter. So, oops. So this is the formula right here. G1, the balance, the P, principal, times, asterisk, 2 open forward slashes, 1 plus G2 over 12. G2 is my rate. Close parenthesis, exponent symbol, in parentheses again, 12 times G4. G4 is my number of years. Then close parenthesis minus 1, close parenthesis, forward slash, open parenthesis, G2, which is R, or my rate again, divided by 12, 2 close parentheses. Okay, so sorry it took me so long to get the formula right, but now you have that side. Right there on the screencast, I'm going to fill in the left part of the graphs for the no deposits and regular deposits, where it actually shows you what you have how much money you'll have each month. So let me do the no deposits one. It's easier. So I'm going to go to cell B2, and opening balance is just the starting off is just the principal. So I'm going to do equals, and then I'm going to do G1. Okay, the interest earned is going to be the rate divided by 12 times the opening balance. So it would be, let's see, equals B2, opening balance, times, and then I'm going to do the rate divided by 12. So the rate is G2, and then divided by 12. All right, and then the closing balance is simply going to be the opening balance plus the interest. So I'm going to put equals, I'm going to go to D2, and I'm going to type equals, and then B2 plus C2. Okay, so now the opening balance for the next month is simply the closing balance from the previous month. So that's going to be equals. Okay, now the interest earned. I have to be careful here because if I just copy the formula down, what it's going to do is update for R, it's going to adjust it so that instead of just rate, the next time through, it's going to do G3, G4, G5, G6, all the way down. So the way I handle that is I'm going to copy and paste the formula first, and then in front of B2 and G2, I put $sign B2, and then, let's see, $sign, no, it's, B2 stays the same, it's G2 that I need to do. $sign, $sign. So that locks that cell. And then let's see. This one is D2. Okay. And then B2. Let's see. B2. Okay. And then this one stays the same. So I can just copy and paste it. And then let me get the right format, or the right color again. So I'm going to paste the formats. Alright, and now I'm going to copy and paste these 3 rows all the way down through row 121. Okay, so, let me see. Let's see, did I get this? Alright, we found a little problem. This B2 actually needs to be B3. Alright, and now let me recopy the formula all the way down again. I mean those rows all the way down. Okay, so now I can check to see if I have the right answer, because at the end of 10 years, which would be 120 months, I get $12,211.99 right there. Well, if I go up to where I computed the formula, I should have the exact same thing. And sure enough, I do. So this will show you your monthly balances at the end of every month in a 10-year loan for basically with an interest rate of 0.02. Now, the nice thing is I can just change the numbers. And automatically my formulas and everything else will be updated. So that's kind of a nifty feature. All right, then to do the regular deposits, it's similar, except, so I'm just going to copy and, let's see, I think everything, well, we'll do the regular deposits in the next screencast. Hi there, on this screencast, I'm going to use Desmos to graph the compound interest formula and the formula for the future value of a periodic deposit investment, which are the two formulas that we've been working with in class. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to desmos.com, then I'm going to go to Start Graphing, and before I do anything else, I want to sign in with Google, and I'm going to pick my Google account. Okay, so we're going to graph the basically the new balance of an account that has compounding interest as a function of time, which is, as you may recall from the formula, is the variable t. So for our purposes in Desmos, we're simply going to make t be x. So that way Desmos will recognize that we are doing a basic function of the variable x. So what I need to do then is use the compound interest formula, and that, and except for t, I'm going to put in x. So that's p times, and then it's 1 plus, and then it's r divided by n, and that's of course rate as a percentage. And then I'm going to hit the exponent key, and then it's going to be times nt, but instead of t, I'm going to put x. Alright, and I can also make sliders. Oops, here is an issue. You want to be careful because you don't want this. See how the x is not a part of the exponent? So I want to make sure the cursor is right after the n. Oops, looks like I may need to use parentheses. So I'm going to put nx. Alright, so I should get an exponential equation that looks something like that, which is exactly what I want. I want to click that box to create all sliders, which we'll get into a little bit later. But for now, this is what we should have. All right, and now I'm going to graph the periodic investment formula, and once again, use the variable x instead of t. So that's going to be, let's see, p times, and then I need two sets of parentheses, 1 plus r divided by x, and then inside those parentheses I'm going to hit the hat symbol, which is above the 6, or I can do a to the b, and then I'm going to do x, and let me see if times, and once again I have that same issue, so I need to put parentheses, x times, normally it's n times x, and then I'm going to do minus 1, and that's all divided by, and then it's going to be r divided by n. Okay, so I should get that. Let me double check to make sure. Oops, this is wrong. It's r divided by n. Here we go, that's better. Times nx minus 1 over r over n. So as you can see, it's a little bit easier, believe it or not, to enter this formula in a calculator or I mean in Desmos, as opposed to a calculator. Now, for a specific problem, all we need to do is set the values for T, R, and N in both cases. Okay, so that's how you're going. Oh, and you need to do save, and then I would save it as, I would give it a title, compound interest formulas. Okay, so I should be set, and that's the first screencast for this little project.